Have you ever felt like you're not great at a lot of things? You might have clicked on this video because you feel like you have no direction right now. And trust me, I've been there. I never thought I'd be good at anything, but I just didn't know where to look. Instead of chasing passions nowadays, most people spend their time doom scrolling on TikTok, watching absolute brain rot, and I don't blame them. The school system we spend most of our lives in makes it hard for us to focus on finding our strengths in life. For years, we've been tested and assessed on a small handful of things that measure our intelligence and how we'll likely get a job. But they're boring and hard. Like, who actually wants to do algebra? Most of us think we lack the skills to succeed. I mean, if you measure a horse's brain power by how good it is at speaking Spanish, it'll go its whole life believing it's awful at everything. We're all born great at something, but as we go through life, we find out all the things we're not so good at and forget about discovering our talents and the things we naturally enjoy. Cristiano Ronaldo, The Rock, Katy Perry. What do they all have in common? Not just that they're rich and happy, they focused on their strengths and became exceptional at them. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this, but my parents would only notice my bad grades. One time I got two test results back. I got an A in chemistry and a D in history. Can you guess how my parents reacted? They totally forgot about that A and simply forced me to improve that history score. As a result, I abandoned what I was good at and constantly tried to improve at something I just didn't want. What I'm getting at is your strengths are probably just sat collecting dust or waiting for you to discover them. Maybe it's been so long that you can't remember your strengths. But where am I going with this? Why should you focus on your strengths? Scientifically, it will make you feel more motivated, happier, and generally just better about yourself. You're performing well at something naturally, and that's fun. Again, we are all born with them, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know where to find them. My first tip on finding your strengths is simply reminding yourself of what you enjoy. Maybe cast your mind back to when you were younger. What would you do as your escape from the world? Something that made you lose track of time, something that just made you forget about the world. Maybe you even forgot to sleep because of it. Things like drawing, programming, making music, playing sports, whatever. Pay attention to what gets you excited and what distracts you because it's so fun. Take some time to think of moments where you felt really focused on something and ask yourself, why did that make me feel so good? Don't feel the need to rush this process too. Have a think about it for the next few days, weeks, or even months. My next tip would be simply asking other people, hey, what do you think I'm good at? Friends and family can give you a valuable insight into what you really might be talented at. They might highlight moments where they saw you at your best. For example, your friend Bill might think you're a great leader, or your pal Mike might think you're amazing with animals, but you might have never considered those from relying on your own thoughts. After that, my advice is to simply try new things and see if you like them. The key is to notice if it feels natural or you're picking it up quickly, and most importantly of all, you enjoy them. Join a sports club, take different classes, volunteer, or even experiment with new hobbies. We all have strengths. You just might not have discovered them yet. Hey, you might be the world's next best hot dog eating champion. Pause. One of the best ways to find your passion is to simply explore. When you're interested in something, it doesn't feel like a chore, and that's how you begin to excel. It will feel natural. I also advise you guys to not be scared of failure, specifically when trying out new things to find what you like. You might try out a new hobby and find it just doesn't feel right, which is great, as now you know what to avoid. It's cliché, but success doesn't come without failure. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team or something, and look at him now. Once you've hopefully narrowed down your list of potential strengths, just commit small amounts of time towards them daily, whatever they may be, and you'll notice that those small, regular efforts can build up into an insane skill. Think of it as like leveling up in a game. You're slowly unlocking new abilities and constantly progressing. Just take your time with figuring out your true interests. You might love something now and hate it next week. You don't need to have your whole life planned out, and you sure as hell don't need just one passion.